All right, today we're going to dig into four absolute giants of the corporate world. And what's fascinating is that each one is playing a totally different game. We've got a legendary investor's sprawling empire, an e-commerce platform that's growing at lightning speed, and two of the most important tech companies you probably never thought about. We're talking Berkshire Hathaway, PDD Holdings, Applied Materials, and KLA Corp. So let's jump right in.
So you might be thinking, what in the world connects these four? I mean, on the surface, they look like they're from different planets. One is all about patient, diversified investing. Another is about pure, aggressive growth. And the other two? They're about intense, laser-focused specialization. But by putting them side by side, we get some really cool insights into what it takes to win in today's economy. Okay, let's start with the big one, Berkshire Hathaway. You've probably heard of it. It's Warren Buffett's baby. It's less of a single company and more like a massive collection of American industry all under one roof. We're talking insurance, railroads, energy, you name it. Then we've got Applied Materials. Now, if you're holding a phone or using a computer right now, well, you have them to thank. These are the guys who build the mind-bogglingly complex machines that actually manufacture pretty much every microchip on the planet. They're literally building the foundation of our digital world. And then there's PDD Holdings, this absolute wrecking ball in the e-commerce world. It's a huge online marketplace that has just exploded in growth by connecting millions of sellers directly to shoppers, and it's completely rewriting the rules for how to do online retail. And finally, meet KLA Corp. Think of them as the other half of the semiconductor dynamic duo. If Applied Materials builds the chip factories, KLA is the one making sure everything that comes out of those factories actually works. They build the super sophisticated inspection systems that are absolutely essential for quality control. Really, one can't succeed without the other. So, here's how we're going to break this all down. We'll start with our basic models. Then we'll look at what's making them grow and, just as importantly, what could trip them up. After that, we'll crunch some numbers. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with the big picture, the bull versus bear case for each one. All right, let's get into it. First up, how do these four giants actually make their money? Because let me tell you, their playbooks could not be more different. Okay, just take a look at these numbers for a second. What really jumps out at you? For me, it's Berkshire's sheer size. $1 trillion market cap and almost 400,000 employees, it just completely dwarfs the others. And remember, the others are huge companies in their own right. It really puts the scale of what we're talking about into perspective. So Berkshire's whole strategy is built on diversification and, well, a hands-off approach. It's not one unified company. It's more like a giant collection of totally different businesses, and they each mostly run themselves. The game plan is simple. Buy great companies with great leaders, and then just hold on for the ride, letting that value compound year after year. PDD, on the flip side, is laser-focused. It's a pure marketplace. It doesn't own the stuff being sold. Its entire game is about making its ecosystem the absolute best place to be for sellers. They're pouring billions into supporting their merchants, basically betting that if their sellers are happy and successful, everyone wins in the long run. Now, Applied Materials and KLA are all about deep, deep specialization. While Berkshire is out there buying up whole industries, these two became giants by being the absolute best at just one thing. You can think of it like this. AMAT builds the incredibly complex machinery that physically creates the microscopic circuits on a chip. Then, KLA comes in with their own amazing machines to inspect that work, hunting for flaws tinier than a single virus. You literally cannot make a modern chip without both of them. Okay, so we get the what. Now for the why. What's actually fueling the fire for each of these companies right now? What's driving their success? Well, it's pretty different across the board. For Berkshire, it's that giant mountain of cash they're always sitting on. They use it to snap up new companies or reinvest in the ones they already own. For PDD, it's all about that massive bet on its sellers. That huge support program is designed to make their platform unbeatable. And then you have our two specialists. For Applied Materials, it's the AI revolution, plain and simple. AI needs a whole new kind of chip, and they build the tools to make them. KLA is riding that same wave. See, as chips get crazier and more complex, stacking things in 3D, the chances of something going wrong skyrocket. That makes KLA's inspection gear absolutely non-negotiable. And if you want to see just how big this AI boom is, look at this, 70%. That's the growth KLA is expecting just from the systems used for advanced packaging, a key piece of the AI chip puzzle. I mean, 70% growth in 1 year, that's just an incredible tailwind pushing this whole sector forward. But hey, it's not all smooth sailing, right? Every company has its challenges. So let's talk about the headwinds and maybe some of the hidden risks that could be lurking around the corner for these four.
And this is a really interesting contrast. For Berkshire, the biggest risk is all about one person, Warren Buffett. It's the classic key person risk. Who could possibly fill those shoes? But for Applied Materials and KLA, their biggest worries come from the outside. You've got the classic boom and bust cycle of the chip industry, plus all the geopolitical drama that could suddenly change who they can even sell their amazing tech to.
Right. And for PDD, here's the twist. Its biggest strength is also its biggest risk. This quote nails it. They are choosing to make less profit in the short term by pumping all that money back into their platform. It's a huge bet. If it works, they build a fortress. But it's a gamble that puts a lot of pressure on their bottom line right now.
Okay, enough talk. Let's get to the numbers. This is where the story really comes to life. These charts are going to show you exactly what these different strategies look like in black and white.
Just look at this. On the left is Applied Materials revenue, and on the right, KLA's. See how they're almost mirror images of each other? It's incredible. It just goes to show you how their fates are completely intertwined. They rise and fall together with a broader semiconductor industry. Wow. Now this is a tale of two completely different stories. On the left, you've got Berkshire Hathaway, this giant, steady mountain of revenue. It's huge, it's stable, and on the right, you have PDD Holdings, which just looks like a rocket launch. I mean, that revenue line is almost vertical. It's one of the most explosive growth stories we've seen in a long, long time. This is the difference between a fortress and a wildfire.
And the cash flow story is just as wild. Berkshire on the left is just a money printer, consistent, massive cash flow year after year. But look at PDD on the right. For years, they were burning cash, investing, and then, bam, the cash flow just explodes upwards. This is what happens when a platform business finally hits that tipping point and starts to scale profitably. It's pretty amazing to see.
All right, so we've looked at the business models, the growth engines, the risks, and the cold, hard numbers. Let's tie it all together and lay out the core bull and bear case for each of these four very different companies.
Okay, so this is what it all boils down to. If you're a bull on Berkshire, you love its stability and its diverse portfolio. But if you're a bear, you're worried about who comes after Buffett and whether the company is just too big to really grow anymore. For AMAT and KLAC, the bull case is all about riding the AI wave. The bear case, getting hit by the next industry downturn or a geopolitical shock. And with PDD, the bulls are betting that its huge investment in its ecosystem will pay off big time. The bears, they're looking at the fierce competition and the short-term hit to profits and getting very nervous.
And that really leaves us with this one big, fascinating question. When you look at these four titans, you see three completely different ways to win. So in this crazy era of constant disruption, which model is really built to last? Is it the slow and steady diversification of a Berkshire, the deep, focused specialization of an Applied Materials or a KLA, or the breakneck, aggressive growth of a PDD? Honestly, the answer to that question is probably going to define the business world for years to come.